The chances of that are really slim. Scientifically speaking, of course.
I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. And try not to piss off the chief of police. Got it. No making the big cheese angry. At least, we're gonna try for this first day of trial. Excuse me. Special? Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else. Might that special thing be this little tag? I wonder. Oh! Sorry, Rhino, but I cannot say that now. Not that. We established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? That's quite a mystery. Like a mystery, it's wrapped in something. A muffler. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. This knife was found at the scene of the crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department I cannot explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Rado. May I ask why? 'Cause you, Mr. Gant, came here with a huge atomic news bomb, and yet you're keeping it silent. We are here to solve a murder after all, so every information can help.
Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine the knife all we can. Righto.
You got that, Righto? Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time. So, how were things done at the department? So we're gonna have to connect this knife to Detective Goodman's murder case, eh? Well, I mean not to Detective Goodman's murder case, but rather the other one that happened at the police department. That's simple enough. I just figured it out during the investigation even. Though, let's see about pressing Mr. Gunn some more, shall we? Something didn't happen at the police department too, did it? You got a good look in your eyes there, Righto, my boy. Sharp. Hungry. Chief, did something happen? And why haven't I heard? Why haven't you heard? Or why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. On the same day, the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot. Another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact! Surprising, isn't it, Edgy? I am at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Oh. You did? Who was it? Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, right? I suppose I could help. If you help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one! This gets sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. One thing and one thing only, you say? Now this shall be interesting. I mean, what would be the best to pick to get the most information out of him? When the victim died... I mean, he said at 5:15, so that's a pointless pick. Where? At the police department, but we don't know where specifically. Like, in a room? Parking lot? Office? I mean, we're gonna investigate the crime scene ourselves anyway, so... Well, okay, we are gonna figure out ourselves how the victim was killed, but... I mean, we gotta know the location first so that we can, you know, go right there to investigate. Unless... Yeah, I'm gonna go with where. So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I cannot speak on where the corpse was found. But I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. So what you're trying to say is that the body was moved somewhere else? You're saying that the crime took place in the evidence room, but yet you cannot say where the body was found. Very interesting. The evidence room. You wouldn't know about the evidence room, would you, Rido? Well, I cannot say I've heard it. I guess I should ask again once I learn a bit more about this evidence room. There's something stranger about this than the place where the body was found. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? 5:15? But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office. What? Wasn't that something that we discussed before? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place, and a murder at our place at the very same time! What are the chances? Coincidence? Either the biggest coincidence in the entire universe, or something planned.
This is just my gut feeling, but I'd say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening.
Yeah, well, it is pretty low. You're alright. Chief Gaunt, please tell us more about the incident. It's not officially linked to this here case, so I cannot talk much about it. How can you say there's no connection? How? Because I'm the chief of police! I cannot just say anything I please, Rido. You understand? Try to understand, Rido. Well, if you can prove there is a connection, more power to you. Maybe there is something that ties the two murders together. Whatever it is, I better find it and get to the bottom of this. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15. One at the prosecutor's office, and one at the police department. That cannot be a coincidence.
And that knife. What was it doing there?
I better check this knife out. Well, okay, can I go back to... I think it was like right here, right? Can I check the other options? Let's see. Another detective was killed at a police department? You got that right, Edgy! We just arrested the suspect, in fact. Alright, let's see. How about... how the victim was killed? Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the force call a stabbing! With a knife! Knife? That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit! We're cooking now! But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? Fish. There were more similarities between the two cases than the causes of death. It seems like I'm going to have to press this a little bit harder. Well, okay. Well, I'm just realizing this. We can't ask more than once. Oh, that is some huge misleading there. You said that we can only ask once. Let me see. Did I just read that right? Yeah, he's saying that he will tell us one thing and one thing only. I guess, when the victim died. So when did the murder at the police department occur? Now that's a sharp question, righto! Very sharp! Well, my boy, you're gonna love this. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? Yeah, that... Yeah, he was being sarcastic over there, wasn't he? I mean, yeah, that was a pointless question because we already learned that. Okay. Well, okay, we already pressed like everything, so... Let me see about connecting this case to the one that occurred at the police department. By using this! Objection! Wait a second. At last! An honest-to-goodness objection! This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Aha! An honest-to-goodness what do you mean from the judge? This is great! Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92. And this is important. Why? Because it connects to another piece of evidence we found at the crime scene. The note, which does reference the knife that we have here. In other words... Actually, I'm gonna let Himiko say it.
Paper was the murder weapon.
Paper was the motherfucking murder weapon! I bet my life on it! Oh, don't look at me like that. Where I came from, even toilet paper can end up becoming a murder weapon. Here, you can cut a man's throat with even the tiniest piece of paper if you're good enough. Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7s? 12-2? Nah. It does say that, yes, but if you turn it upside down, it will read... Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside. The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get? Oh! When he wrote this note, he was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that is written on the knife's tag. And that is the piece that ties this case to the murder that happened at the police department. Order. Well, Chief. Oh well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto. He's testing us, it seems. It sure is more than likely that this guy knows a lot about what is going on. I can smell it. I can smell the cheese. I win? What game is this guy playing? Okay. This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. Okay. Christ, this is just so weird. I mean, this has happened a few times throughout this case, but it feels so weird to continue a testimony after presenting an evidence, because before this case, we had testimony, present evidence, objection, and then and then we move on to a new, completely different testimony, like a completely new cross-examination. But this is quite new to me. Anyway, I guess we do have this. Let's press this. So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say. Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice, nice, nice! Good show, little wordy! It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder. It was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car.
Hard to think there isn't a connection there.
Huh. Okay. Well, what else can we do? I mean, we connected both of the cases, so...
The evidence room. Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now?
Okay, I think this is different. We heard about the evidence room before. Now I am asking him the same question that we did before, of where he got killed. This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the apartment's evidence room. And there's the connection between the two cases.
Is he happy, Mr. Wright?
Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. Indeed. With the link between two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gunn to testify about the details. Ugh. How do you freaking see this? Well, now what am I supposed to do? Okay, here we have this statement over here that he's saying once again that it's not officially linked. So, maybe if I press this again? Can we say something over here? Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. Okay, there you go. Now we can move on with this. You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. Don't you mean out with it, Righto? And isn't it self-explanatory? I mean, we found a connection, and that is the note and the knife. The connection is a place, mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen, from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had written down the numbers on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed, there do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. I gotta say, I do sense quite a lot of power coming from this guy. Whenever he goes all silent, I really feel like he's looking at me with the eyes of a powerful man. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced, like right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet, and all. Can we get the information unofficially? I mean, you said it yourself. We did figure it out, like right here. Whereas your men couldn't do it in like 2 days. So, if you can give us all the information that we need, we can solve the entire case, like right over here. Me, Phoenix, and Edgeworth, we can totally do this. Pretty please. Sure! Why not? It's unofficial after all. Hooray! What? Really?
Who would have guessed?
Okay. Okay, here we have a new statement. I'll cooperate, but I cannot reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? Sheesh, this is quite a branching path type cross-examination. Never have I seen this before. If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. Oh boy, here we have like more options over here. We're gonna have to go through all of this. The victim's division, the victim's ID number, the victim's gender. What about the victim's division? Okay, well, what division was the victim stationed in? Oh, you want to know that, do you? Do you? Aha! Criminal Affairs Division 1. The detective is responsible for homicide cases. Homicide? That'll be the same division as Detective Goodman. Gumshoe, sorry.
Detective Goodman, who was killed in the underground parking lot, was homicide too.
It's almost like a serial killer was after homicide detectives. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Could it be what I think it is?
Except the serial killer happened simultaneously, scientifically speaking.
Well, I sure hope Detective Gumshoe isn't next on the list. Oof. Never say that, Phoenix. Never. Don't you go say stuff. Don't you go saying stuff like that. Okay? 2 detectives were killed at 5:15. But... I have a feeling over here that I may know what is going on here. I think I'm realizing this. So let's go back over here and ask the right question. And see if I'm actually right. About the victim's ID number. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you're able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 584-2189. 5842. Oh my lord! It was Detective Goodman! Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts! 82... I cannot do it. Just try and remember it in batches of 3. It always works. Like phone numbers. You didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the victim at the police department. This is totally telling me something. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. You think? Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department. Tells you something? What does it tell you? It tells us that the detective that got killed at the police department and the one that got killed at the prosecutor's office are actually the same! Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. Indeed. He is like me whenever I try to burn someone. Like Manfred or Edgeworth. And it feels so good I giggle so hard. No, it's just... I got confused. And this is news? Hey, come on. Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing. Like you always do. The police department and the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh, is it yours? No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Rhino. Personnel IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 584-2189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82... I forgot. 584-2189. Come on, Josh, it's not that hard. I mean, you're lucky. I myself have to prepare for another Nonari game. I have worked with numbers a lot in the past. So this sort of stuff should come naturally. You even got the first number wrong. The number the chief of police gave us was 584-2189. Wait a second, Wright. What does this mean? And that's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? It is really interesting now that I think about it. Okay, let me remember some stuff that we found out during the investigation. In like the autopsy report, it said that the victim died between 4 and 5:30 p.m. Yeah, it says like right over here, 4 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. And another thing we found was that it takes around 30 minutes with taxi to get from the prosecutor's office to the police department, and vice versa. So, this can tell me that Angel Star lied about a lot more other things in her testimonies. The prosecutor's office may have not been the scene of the crime like at all. Now that is quite interesting to think about. Oh! Sharp as a tack! Righto. Sharp as a tack. Righto. How come I never get any recognition in this? I get no recognition nor love. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. Yeah, this can mean one thing. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet, a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room, at the exact same time! That's impossible. So, what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time? And in a completely different location? Order, order, order! Chief, what does this mean? No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine. But I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now, just wait a second, Roddy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight? The grave error? Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Oh. You mean to say that what Meekins tried to bring to Edgeworth yesterday was information about the murder at the police department? Oi, Edgeworth, what have you done? You really should have just taken the document for Pete's sake. Officer Meekins?
Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before?
Wait.
Aha! Excuse me! What is Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah. Anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir! At the request of the chief, sir! I got a report, sir!
You don't mean him? According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report? Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right. The victim's name is written right on the top of the door. Wait, what? The victim's name is written right on. I think that's supposed to be right on the top of the report. Why didn't your officer tell me?
Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged.
In any case, this is a serious error. A gross negligence of duty on your part, Wordy. But sir! You could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then No such luck this time, Wordy. Or should I say, unworthy. What? Now what was the second rule of evidence law?
Well, Mr. Wright?
Why are you asking Nick? I think that it was established before that he knows nothing about law. It's in a similar fashion to me, and I'm a detective, not a defense attorney. He should know about this stuff more than me. Oh, well, it's Rule 2. New evidence may only be submitted if they connect. New evidence may only be submitted if it concerns the case on trial. And how is this relevant? Normally you submit a list of evidence to be used in the court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? Well, you should know it, Judge. I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. a.k.a. if Edgeworth submitted it as piece of evidence himself, Isn't that right? But he didn't. The connection was just proven by right over here. Good job, Rhino, my boy.
Huh? I was just doing my job.
No. No! It seems we have come to the end of the trial. You're becoming a thorn in my side, Woody. There have been rumors. After all, you were in the defendant's chair just last year. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened, if it's the last thing I do. You better get results this time, really. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth.
I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. We'll grant one further day as the prosecution has requested.
Thank you, Judge. And don't worry, we will help Edgeworth, even if he doesn't want to. It does seem that he needs someone as a babysitter, in case he does another mistake like that.
Will this be sufficient, Mr. Ward? Will this be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Ugh. Very well. Court is adjourned.